Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Whole Woman Show. Today I have joining me Miss Teja Tamika Campbell, and she is the CEO of Doves Global. And she has she's revamped her show, and it's now called Live with Tamika. And we're here today to talk about her show, how she got into business, all the good down to behind the scenes stuff. And we're going to take some time after at the end of the show to address some of the stuff that's happening in the country. So we'll be right back after these messages. We'll be right back, and I'll have her introduce herself to you.
You could go ahead and tiptoe through your life, digging in the dirt, you can stress on the strife, but I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith, I'm flying on faith. You could cry all night.
This is gonna suck. Biore Charcoal cleansers suck out 2 times more dirt, oil, and impurities. That's why Biore Charcoal sucks. Better. Biore. Free your pores.
Hi, and we're back. Before I went to the commercial break, I was mentioning that I have with me today Miss Teja Tamika Campbell, and she is the host of the new show, Live with Tamika. Welcome. It is so good to have you with me.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here.
You and I are no strangers to each other. You are my girl.
Yes.
We have history, and it's a good history. We've been supportive of each other in so many ways, and I am grateful to know you and have you in my life.
Same here.
Today we're here to talk about the good things that's happening for you during this COVID season. Let's talk a little bit about you're the CEO of Doves Global, and you're the new host of the new show Live with Tamika. But we're going to talk about how you came to get into business, because anybody who knows anything about business knows that you didn't just walk into it overnight. It was a little traversing and traveling and crawling and crying. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into business.
Mhm. First of all, I would like just to, again, my name is Teja Tamika Campbell, and like Ms. Whylly said, I am the CEO and the founder of Doves Global Marketing and Event Concepts. And how I got started in business, I worked at a company for about 11 years, and I had, well, it was preparation for where I needed to be now.
Exactly. I was going to get to that, but you go ahead.
So I worked at Leisure Travel and Tours for about 11 years, and I have been privileged to work in various areas of the company. I always wanted to get in business for myself, and but for some reason I just couldn't figure out exactly what it is that I wanted to do. And as time progressed, my love and passion for people made it evident that whatever it is that I wanted to do, I want to be able to help people, to encourage, motivate persons in their journey, whatever it is that they're doing, that they want to do. And so the last 3 years of me being at Leisure, after the back and forth and the fear of just stepping out in the unknown, I was able to fully get a better understanding of what it is that I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And so God now has just made my situation a bit uncomfortable, so to speak, to push me to where now I need to go. And so,
The eagle nest thing.
and so the latter part of my time at leisure, I started to put some things into effect. I built the foundation, and it took me, I just didn't, like Miss Whylly said, I just didn't haphazardly just got up and left and went into business. It took time. I had to properly structure, think about what it is that I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And as a wife, a mother, you still have things and obligations that still needs to be met. So
Yes.
you can't just say that I'm going to do this, not knowing or properly plan out everything, every detail, every
the last
thing to the T. And so that was the beginning stages of preparing to launch out on my own as an entrepreneur. And let me tell you, the process was by no means easy.
Easy.
But
it was I'm sure it was worth it though.
It was well worth it. It was well worth it.
Let me stick a pin in something you say, because again, I like when I hear little nuggets, I like to go back and stick a pin and then reiterate. You said several things that touched me. One of the things you said was you were on the job and you kind of God made it uncomfortable for you. One of the things that God does is God have a sense of humor. And one of the things he does, he will tell you what it is that you need to do. He will show you. And if you don't move, he does some things. That's that eagle nest thing where the mother takes the baby and pushes it out of the nest so the baby could fly. God will do that to you. Yeah. He will definitely do that to you. That's one of the things I wanted to reiterate. But one of the things I want to say to persons who may be in a situation now or on a job or just in this season looking to do something different. You said that you had a longing to help people and to motivate people and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of like a knowing of what your purpose is. That's part of the knowing. And I want people to come to understand that you have to now listen to that knowing and that voice pushing you towards what it is you think you're meant to do. Mm-hmm. And the third thing that you said that stood out to me was the fact that you made a plan. You had to make a plan. And I say this to people all the time. I did a show on Friday past, international show in the United States, and she asked me what would be one of the things that I would say to somebody who wants to get into business. It is make a plan, because having a plan is very important. That's how you know where you're going and how to adjust, how to adapt, how to deviate. And the Bible says, write it and make it plain, and we believe in the Bible. So there we are. And you spoke about the stuff that you went through to getting to where you are now. But let's talk about the talk show now. Now, your new talk show is not a new talk show because you've been doing a talk show for a while. But sometimes we're in a position where we're doing things, because I've had to go through it, where we're doing things the way we want it, and then God is like, no, get it together. Let's talk a little bit about your journey to this show.
This show has been toiling with me back and forth for about 2 years. We've started it, and then we took a break. The Lord had it where there were some personal things that I had to deal with, and so what happened was the Lord said, "Listen, there's things that I need you to accomplish. There's things that I need you to complete, understand." And so I was not able to do it at the present state that I was in. I had to just sit down and take a moment, revamp, rethink, and just kind of go over everything from start to that present moment. And one of the things that I had to realize and recognize is, in order for you to be effective in everything you do, you have to complete your process. You have to,
Powerful right there.
you have to be able to, like I always tell people, you know, how can you encourage me, minister me, witness to me if you yourself have not completed your process? You know, there are some things that we have to go through, and in order for us to get the answers we need, get to the place we need to be, we have to go through the process. We have to have that experience. We have to go through that period where we are just in a state of just healing,
Yes.
restoration.
Yes.
You know, in order for us to be completely whole, to share what it is that we've gone through. You
You,
know, and
you are
that's what
right.
it was for me in life with Tamika, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and God had to just sit me down and completely take me out of it. And there were times where, as much as I wanted to get up and do a lie, I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay. And then I had days where I just I I just didn't know what to do,
But
when to do, how to do. And
mm-hmm.
I was in a moment where I was just stuck in between, should I not?
Shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? What
I,
now?
you know, and and you know, it, after realizing this and completely now going through the process and dealing with, like I said, personal issues and just now proper foundation and structure,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord now released me. Okay, now
Off of the
now
word.
that you've listened, one, and you are obedient, two, you can continue on, because I need you to be at a certain place in order
Mm,
for you to effectively carry on,
mm.
especially when it comes to the work at hand. Because at the end of the day, the work that I'm doing, it's only for God.
And see,
People can have talk shows and businesses, but if you're not doing it for God, if you're not doing it for purpose, it's in
you might,
vain.
you might as well forget it. You know, you say again, you said a couple of things that stood out. One of the things I laugh about all the time, I laugh because I tell God he's be up there thinking things down here funny. Because the one thing he will do, he will have his way. He will have his way.
That he
And,
will.
and you spoke about being processed. I could tell you, when God gave me the purpose of my life after my mother passed away from breast cancer, he said to me, I'm not going to take you to the promised land, because if I take you there, you're going to make a mess of the lives of women. And I tell you, when he said that to me, that was something I realized, that when I said that to Dr. Miles Monroe, who was my pastor, he said to me, my baby, and then he gave me the name for my show. And you mentioned it just now when you said you have to be whole. He gave me the name, The Whole Woman. When I said that to him, he's like, oh, get ready. So when you have to become whole to be able to be the part that you're meant to play to people, that's no joke. You have to go through some things that you never even dared to dream you would have to go through, because he has to strip you and he has to take things away from you
Yeah.
to get you to a place where you could be what he needs you to be, to fulfill the purpose that he needs you to fulfill. And he ain't playing with that. He can do that whether you like it or not. And
Yes,
that's
he is.
exactly what you were saying about going through the process. Now you talk about getting to the place where you were now released, because he released you now after going through your breaking point, your repairs, your dusting off, you're becoming a diamond now. Let's talk
Mhm.
about what the show is about, where the show is going, what it entails, and how it's going to make a difference in the lives of the people moving forward.
Okay. So we have now 2 days out of the week at this moment that we go live, and it's on
Mm,
Tuesdays. Tuesdays is dubbed Truthful Tuesdays. And
mm,
so we talk about life issues, circumstances, challenges that we go through, how we overcome them, you know, encouraging somebody that, listen, I've been where you are. I know what it is to have suicidal thoughts. I know what it is to be
mm,
to a place where I don't know if I'm going to go left or right. I don't know where the next dollar is going to come from. I don't know if I'm going to live to see my children go through school, get married, get careers, have children of their own.
mm,
And
mm,
so what we want to do is just to build a family that will
Mm-hmm.
encourage, that will motivate, and let people know that at the end of the day, you matter.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't look at your present situations, because it's only temporary.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, the things that we go through now are to build our faith, are to
Mm-hmm.
trust God more. And so once we realize and understand that, the easier the process is.
It counts. Yes. Yes. Because not the thing about it is, I've resolved it this way for me. I was created for something. I
Yeah.
wasn't put here for nothing. And the fact that I was put here for something, the least you could do, the least you could do is for the person who created you and put you here is fulfill the thing that they put you here for. Because while you're doing that and you're serving God and you're trusting Him, you get so many other good benefits as you go, as you are moving along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that when you're walking in the thing that you were created for, there's nothing like it. It gives you a joy, it gives you a peace, it gives you the most amazing feeling, especially when you're helping people. And I know that's your heart. And I know
Yeah.
that's your heart. So I can see that that is exactly where you're meant to be and where you need to be going. You talk about the Tuesdays, and I'm happy that persons will have a platform where they could come to express those feelings and to express how they're feeling, to have a place where they can get good advice, because I know you offer good advice. Now, you said you have 2 days. Let's talk about the second day, what's happening with that particular day on your show.
The second day is on Friday, and
Hmm.
it's dubbed Fearless Fridays. And this platform is geared for entrepreneurs, persons thinking of becoming entrepreneurs. Um, we invite them to share their story and also promote their business at the same time. A lot of
Okay.
times people don't have the various avenue or the know-how to execute what it is that they want to do, or
Hmm.
how they want to do it, or where they want to take it. And so we try to provide a platform where they can just as how you and I are having a mere conversation,
Conversation,
we
yes.
want to create that environment where they
Hmm.
can just have a conversation, talk about their passion, what drives them, what motivates them, what what causes them to get up in the morning and do what they do every single day.
Okay.
You
Yes.
know, and,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
at the end of the day, for persons to connect with each other, because you know sometimes as much as we think that we're out there, we're not. And so with these platforms and these platforms that we are hosting, it gives persons on a broader scale, whether it's locally and internationally,
Hmm.
to see who you are, what you're
Yes.
capable of, and you'll be surprised to know who is watching. You'll be
And that's
surprised.
the truth. It's the truth. Because the thing about it is with the platforms that we've had to pivot to during this season that we're in is seen around the world. And the truth of the matter is being here offers us so much more opportunities,
Yes,
because now you have the opportunity to reach worldwide. It's not just local. And you can even change the lives of people around the world without leaving your country, without
yes,
even leaving home, actually. At the end of the day, persons could view it while you're sitting home and creating what it is that you're creating, you know?
this is
And I
true.
love that concept. There's so many persons now who's gone and since, and I keep, I don't want to keep talking about this season, but we're in it, and it is what it is. And you
Yeah.
have to now think about how you're going to survive in it,
Mhm.
and the fact that you're offering people the opportunity to get advice and have the opportunity to talk and get advice from other persons who come to your platform to help them with their businesses. Because right now, so many persons have gone and started new businesses online and started new businesses, creative persons who make jewelry and handbags and soaps and this thing and the next thing. Now they need a way to get it out, get it sold, get the stuff. And we have to remember that again, you don't just have to do that locally. There's a way that it can be done internationally where you can now make more money and you can now bring money into the economy, irrespective of what's happening in our society. You know? So I
Yeah.
love the fact that you have that platform available for them. What are some of the other things you're looking forward to doing with Live with Tamika? I know that that's just the tip of the iceberg.
We have a few other things that we are working on. I won't say per se yet,
Okay.
but it's
Just know that there's some exciting stuff coming
yeah,
to the table.
yeah,
I
yeah.
ask you that because I know that I know you have a lot of stuff that's in you that you want to do, and I know it's boiling over to come out. But that's just we can leave it where it is. Because sometimes you have to keep your ideas to yourself because it's not safe sometimes to mention things that are not already prepared. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
Live with Tamika is a subsidiary of your parent company, Doves Global. Let's talk a little bit
Yeah.
about Doves Global because that has had a transformation as well. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Doves Global and where you're taking that company.
Okay. Dove's global marketing and event concept, originally Dove Enterprise, was founded 2015, and we again went through the same process as Live with Tamika in terms of the revamping and just dealing with situations.
Hmm.
Dove Global is the mother company, and mainly we host and plan events,
Hmm.
preferably our events, and that's seminars, workshops, conferences. We have an award service that we have founded. It's called the Geraldine Victoria Award of Appreciation.
Hmm.
This service recognizes persons that have gone above and beyond in helping others without asking for any help, not to be noticed or anything of that sort. And so we wanted to recognize these persons. And a lot of times people do stuff and they go to their graves without
Hmm.
even
Without
being
recognition.
recognized,
Yes,
or
yes.
just even just giving a thank you. And so
Mm.
I firmly believe that, you give persons their flowers, their accolades, their praise while they are alive to enjoy
Yes,
it, you
yes,
know?
mhm,
And
yes.
so that's the platform for that one. And then we also have um, the entrepreneur page, which is Tia Tamika. And this page is geared towards entrepreneurs and persons thinking of becoming entrepreneurs. So what we do is it's a community that just invites entrepreneurs, and we share our story, our experiences, and we help connect with other like-minded persons. And if there's something that somebody else can offer, we try to facilitate and just connect in that regard as well.
Okay.
We also have the Doves Connect, which
Mhm.
deals with the social media marketing management aspect of it. We do the social media management, analytics as well, of the back end of social media, because a lot of times, like for me when I first started, I just I'm just going to go live. I didn't
Mhm.
know the back end of it, what goes into the back end of it. And so all of these things now are crucial parts that's going to help promote, boost, and get your business where it needs to be. And
Mhm.
so the gist of Dove and all of the auxiliary arms is to help facilitate um, everyone that we come in contact to. And it's not just geared for entrepreneurs, but for people in general. I did a seminar with Catherine Beneby, and I tell the story because, like I said, I believe in giving people their props while they are alive.
Brilliant.
I'm so
Yes.
appreciative and grateful to her
Hmm.
because she caused me to realize and fully understand what my why, what it is that I'm passionate about, what I want to do, how I want to do it.
Hmm.
And so she led us in an exercise where we had to write down some of the things that we loved doing, and what it is that we wanted to do. And so out of that exercise, we had to choose a particular name or characteristic.
Uh-huh.
And so after that exercise, I was dubbed the name Heart. And I was like, Heart. And
Hmm.
she said, okay, so you are Heart. Tia Tamika is Heart. And she said, do you know why you're Heart? I'm like, kind of, sort of. And she says, think about it. Out of everything that you've written down, what is it that you did? And I started to read off, and she said, okay, summarize it, and then said, I am heart, and give you a reason. And so I was like, okay. And so Teja Tamika, am heart because I have a love and a passion for people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that was just so profound for me, because regardless that I knew that I loved to help people and I had a passion for people, I was still going through the motion. The bell didn't ring until she actually sat me down and said, listen, this is actually what it is that you actually do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Realize that? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
now. And so I encourage everyone to, as you find your why,
Mm-hmm.
find what word that can summarize and capture the essence of who you are.
The passion of what it is that you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Again, let me say here, one of the things that I like is the fact that you said you did a seminar with someone to help you to find that out. One of the things that I believe in is like you have to in moving forward in business, in your personal life, in your private life, you need to be able to go to someone, even if you have to pay, because it's important to invest in yourself. You need to go to someone who can help you to find if you're stuck. You need to be able to go to someone who can help you to figure out why you're stuck and how to get unstuck, to be able to move into the place that you need to move to better your life. Because it's not being out here and being in business and doing what it is that you do. It's not easy. Every day you have to be looking at how am I gonna make this money? How am I gonna do what it is that I'm meant to do to help someone? Because believe it or not, you could wake up every day and just do what you want to do. But if it isn't helping anyone, it's almost as if it's worthless to a degree, because it's not doing what you're meant to do. The thing that I love about what you're saying is that people have this platform now, and if they're smart, they can come to this platform on a Tuesday and talk about the stuff that's emotionally bothering them and how you can get it out, and then on a Friday, if you're in business, you could come and you can get all this information and share with the crew of people that can now probably even offer you tips and help on that you couldn't get even if you paid. Because sometimes the persons who are in the room have more knowledge than you would believe. You know what I mean?
This is true.
And I love the show and the business concept, because it all comes together to make a whole. So I get that, and I know that the hard thing is exactly you. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the advice and the tips that we could give to persons who just went into business in this season. Let's talk a little bit about some of that.
One of the main things I would suggest, advise, be consistent.
Mm.
And I can only tell you that from my experience, consistency is key to everything.
Order of the day.
Listen, every day will not be the same.
No.
Some days you will not want to get up and do something, or you wouldn't want to be bothered. But you have to remember your why. Why did you start it? You know? Mm-hmm. And like I share, being in business is not for everyone.
No.
It's not. You have to be disciplined. You have to be organized. Mm-hmm. You have to be to a place where in your mind, and your mindset is everything. Your mindset will determine if you're going to make it or not.
Succeed or fail. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have to have that determined mindset that no matter what happens, I'm keeping it moving. And that has been my experience, because even in business, when I've hosted events, I've had events where no one showed up, and I have invested so much time, effort, money, and there's no one. I'm like, "Now, God, you didn't give me this, and you didn't tell me I need you to do this." And here it is, no one showed up, or I haven't gotten the return that I had anticipated. And I had to learn that, well, God told me that, listen, it's just preparation. And so you can't look at it right now that, it's a quick way to get a couple of dollars in or whatever. Again, you have to go through the process. You have to build your foundation. You have to set yourself up. You have to get to the place where people, like you said, Ms. Whylly, have to trust you to know that every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Ms. Whylly is going to be online. And I'm sure if persons don't see you at 1 o'clock, they're going to be giving you a call. It's 1 o'clock. What's the matter?
Yeah, I get those calls.
You see? And so we have to build up to that. And the only way we can do that is through consistency.
Yes.
And with the mindset that every day is a new day to get it done, to improve on the things that we didn't do, we didn't finish, revamp, improve, and move forward. Taking everything from what we learned yesterday, applying it to today, and in our future endeavors.
That's just the truth. You just on fire right now. You just you just like laying it all out. Listen to me. I could tell you, speaking about the events that was not successful, I had an event and some persons came, not what I expected. But the thing that and when I looked at it, I was just like, yes, thank God, now you called for this. You said, I know this what you got. And he said to me, it wasn't about the event and the people coming in the room. It was the people who you invited to the event that now is for you. And I can tell you, almost every person that has come through that event we've worked together, or has done something for me, or I had done something for them.
And I can
yeah, because sometimes it isn't even, but too, sometimes I think we get ourselves with pride and stuff, and we think we could accomplish this and we could do that. And sometimes God does things to cause us to have to backtrack and depend on Him. You know what I mean? And like you said, there are days that you are gonna not want to get up. You're not gonna want to do it. But when it's something that you're meant to do,
yes,
irrespective of how you feel, you override your feelings and you move into what you know you are meant to do, and you get it done. You get it done, and at the end of the day, you're grateful to yourself that you did it because you didn't quit.
Yeah,
giving up is easy. I tell people all the time, and this. I think I've said this to you before. The option to give up for me is off the table. I don't have that option anymore, so I have to succeed. I take that off the table 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And I love the concept that you have, because it's the perfect one. And moving forward, to move your business to the next level, what are some of the things, what are some of the other things that you guys, again, you don't have to disclose anything if you don't want to. But looking at the situation that we're in now, what are some of the things that you've had to do to get your business to where it is to this place now, in terms of pivoting from looking at things externally? Because off air, we were talking about advertising and all of this stuff. But you can't even get advertising really, because all the businesses are closed. So now you have to now be thinking of another way to promote and market and do what you have to do.
This is so true. It's true. And like I was sharing with you, I'm a hands-on person. I love the interaction of a human, that I can, touch every two tools, and that actual face-to-face personal interaction with someone. And so that's how we originally started out. And because of COVID-19, we had to adjust and rethink all of that.
Everything.
And find a way that still we can interact with our clients and still feel as close as possible to them. And so one of the things, you have to be able to adapt to the times. If you're not able to adapt quickly, efficiently and effectively, you're going to get left behind.
Yes, or you're going to die.
Yes.
Yes.
It's stepping on into the unknown at times, but sometimes when you do step into the unknown, you'll be surprised to the things that you find and the things that find you. And so we took on a whole outlook. We had to just sit down and we had to come at it at all angles,
yes.
From the analytics part of it, behind of the scenes. I'm like, listen, all I want to do is just go on and have conversations.
I do the show.
You understand? But then there's the analytics part of it. Then there's the complete wardrobe, the complete appearance, what you're posting, the flyers, the wording, everything has to be properly and professionally done. Then you have persons that are going to go out there and recruit people that say, listen, we know that you're having a hard time right now, but guess what? We can offer you a service that you don't have to have a storefront, but as long as you have all of your information, we can get it out there for you. We can help still promote you and, help offer alternatives. So this now is a good avenue for persons who have not been selling or advertising or promoting online to get on board. And so we would help facilitate, help advise, listen, in this day and time, we need you to be on board with the times. We need you to still be able to function as if you were still in your storefront.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
And so one of the ways to do that is to fully go online, and there are many opportunities, many trainings that you can adhere to get this done. I myself did a training with Keishel, getting your business fully online.
Awesome.
There are opportunities, very much so. I totally enjoyed it. And it was very informative and very, 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 very strategic and thought out.
Keishel she's awesome. She's awesome at what she does. I would recommend her to anyone.
Very much so.
And in this season, I say that, and someone would say to me, "Well, why are you talking about somebody else's business on your business and all that kind of stuff?" But this is the season where we have to support each other, because at the end of the day, all of us are in the same boat, and all of us going up that same river or down it, whichever way you go in at the time. All of us in it.
Definitely. Support to be supported.
Yes.
The only way we're gonna survive. We have to be our brother's keeper, if it's something that, and perfect example, you are a veteran in this field. I came to you numerous of times for advice, how to, what to, when to, and one of the things that I love and appreciate you never shunned me. You sat me down and you gave me your honest opinion. You advised me on the things that I need to do, and, you gave me personal things that you encountered, that you did, and you were not afraid to share some of the things that you actually went through, and today that is so important, because when you think about people like yourself that are already trendsetters in this field, your legacy just from sharing it with me will continue to go on, because here it is, you've shared your legacy with me. So here I'm now going to say, Miss Whylly, I remember when she sat down and she had a conversation with me, and she helped me to steer me in the way that I need to be. And so the knowledge that you've imparted to me, I can share with somebody else. And that's how our legacy would go on. What legacy are you leaving? What legacy are you leaving behind for others to follow? Is it going to be a legacy to say that, you were approachable, you were realistically inclined to listen and hear and advise as to the need of the persons around you, not just in your field, but in general, and so that's just what it is.
For me, I'm thank you for that. But for me, that's so easy. When I see, like, when I saw it, when you call me and tell me about the show, it's like, yay, go to me. Because to me, that's like a win for me, you know. I when
Yeah.
you do that, I'm like, that's a win for me. That's my girl, and she doing her thing. And whenever I see any of my girlfriends achieving and accomplishing and whatever, I feel like, okay, you go get it, girl. Because if I ain't have it, that means mine coming up soon, or I
That's
just gotta
right.
work hard to get to mine.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? And and
That's
and
right.
and truthfully, I just, you know, I have a on the Facebook feed, I have a lot of women on the feed right now who are women who I know are amazing. There's Tasha Raming, there's Donna Marie, and there's Shanique is here, and there's a lot of women that are out there doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
just grinding and not giving up. And I keep thinking, like, at the end of the day, when we get to be like 65 and stuff, we're gonna be on the porch talking about,
Yes. I have it pictured sitting in my
yeah,
rocking chair and
we're all gonna be
saying
on the
and
porch talking about how we fought to get to where we are, and to get the things that we need to get done to be able to survive. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
it isn't about anybody being jealous or hating on each other. It's like, go get it, go get it. And if I can help you get it, let me help you get it. You know? And that's what it's all about. You know, you mentioned about being our brother's keeper. And right here I want to pivot for us to talk a little bit about what's happening in our community right now, with the government and with the season that we're in. I I feel my heart is very heavy about what is happening because I'm a mother, I'm a woman, I have my children, and I have my grandson, and I have my siblings whom I love dearly. I have my nieces and my nephews whom I love very much. And with the situation that's happening is rough. It is really, really rough on people. Um, Being our brother's keeper right now, because let me make a statement here. I'm not political. I listen to everybody, the independent, the F&M, the PLP, the DNA. Everybody could come and sit. I listen to all of them. I pray about it, and then I make a decision based on what was said to me. My thing is, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who are hurting right now.
Yeah.
And the only way, like it or not, the Prime Minister has made the decision. Like it or not, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So right now, we have to figure out how you're going to move from here, from right here. Because if he doesn't decide tomorrow or day after tomorrow to open this country, persons are in need. And our brother's keeper is what we have to become in this season. As a neighbor, if you cook a pot of food, you could share that with your neighbor. You understand me, Tamika? Because
Yeah.
we know about that from back in the day, because that's how we were brought up. You know what I mean? So
Yes, ma'am.
let's talk a little bit about some of the things on how you feel about what's happening. Again, this is not political. Let's
By no
establish
means.
that right off the bat. Okay. We are talking across the board about how we can walk through these 7 days, because like I said, the reality is the 7 day lockdown is here. There's no food stores open, there's no pharmacies open, there's no gas stations open, there's nothing open. How can we walk through these 7 days? I know, I know. I know,
And
I know.
it's for those of us that are in Christ, we have no worries.
Mm, exactly.
You know, we're just going to remind God of his promises. He shall supply all,
Not some,
all
not
of
some.
our needs.
Hmm.
And so the thing is, and looking at it, I think it's just God allow this to happen to get the people's attention. For far
Mm,
long, we have been doing our own thing and
mm,
not doing what we're supposed to. We are said to be a godly nation,
mm,
but in most cases, we are far from it in terms of some of the
mm,
things that we do and all that sort of stuff.
mm,
And I think this is God's way of just getting us back to basics.
mm.
Everything has shut down.
Everything.
Everything is shut down.
Everything.
So who are you going to depend on? Are you going to depend on the government? The Bible says the arms of men will fail you.
It's clear that ain't working.
So we now realize that things are not going to according to plan in that retrospect. So what are we as a people going to do? Who are we depending on? Who are we trusting? What is it that we actually are doing for survival mode now?
Yes.
So, okay. Yes, it is a need. We still have to eat. We still have to live. We still have to go about our daily routine. And, you know, even in terms of let's kind of go back to not being political, but like we were sharing earlier, there's some things that that you and I probably can suggest that can assist in the aid of helping us to be a better people, or helping us to get a foundation and to a jump start to get it going. Like we were talking about on the family islands, the vacant land, section it off, get back into the farming, get back into
fishing and husbandry and all these kinds of things that we need
to be a self-sustainable nation. For far too long, we've depended on other people. So we have the resources to do just that. Why aren't we using the resources to do that?
It's again, I understand what you're saying, and I agree that those are some of the things that I think this just means things should have been brought to the forefront already. But the reality of it is that that's not happening. And we're in a position, persons are in a position right now. I was online and someone said that they have diabetes and they have no food and they have no water. Okay? So this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with right here, right now, that needs to be addressed. I sat down and I didn't sleep last night. I got some bags under my eyes. I didn't sleep last night, just thinking about this and praying about it. And the thing about it is, it comes back to exactly what you said. God is expecting some things of us. We've been living our lives like we control our own lives, like we think we run things. You understand?
Yeah.
And I tell my children this all the time. Sometimes God will come to you and he'll be like, my child, I need you to change. He'll whisper. Then he'll come and he'll shout a little louder, I need this to change. And then when you don't change, he's have to like slap you up behind your head for you to get it, for you to change. And I think this is one of those situations where he slapped us behind our head for us to stop and stop and think and look to whom our source is. Because we have to remember, and I say this to people all the time. I had an occasion to say this to a gentleman yesterday at the bank. When you come to understand who my source is, you know how you're supposed to treat me. Your source is not the government. Your source is not a man. Your source is not things. Your source is the Heavenly Father above, who owns and controls everything. And not until we come to the place that we understand that he's requiring, like you said, some things of us, will we be able to walk away from this. Because we can, we can. And we can't just say what we say about the government, because we have to understand that there are some irresponsible people that are going out there and not taking what is necessary, the precautions that are necessary to protect themselves, other people, their loved ones. So now we're in this position. And everybody has to take responsibility for the part that they played to bring them to this place. You get me?
Yeah.
So for me, right now, I think the most important thing we could do right here, right now, is become our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
You brought it up, and that's exactly what we need to become. Because if you, on my strip, my neighbors and I, we live really well. If my neighbor come for water, I can give my neighbor water. If my neighbor come for something to eat, I can make sure my neighbor has something to eat. That's just me. And I on this live, and anybody who wants to refute that, I give you permission to do that. I know who I am and I know what I do. If somebody comes here now and say they're hungry and they need a plate of food, I giving them my plate. You understand that? And this is what we have to do right now. If you have a neighbor who's sick that you think needs to be looked after, at some point put on your mask, keep your social distance, but go check on your neighbor. Okay? Because medications were not gotten, and you don't know if somebody's in a position that they cannot take care of themselves.
This is
It
true.
takes nothing to take a plate of food. It takes nothing to take a bottle of water to someone in need. It takes nothing off of you. It may make yours a little less, and you may have to drink a half a bottle of water instead of full bottle, but it could be done. And that's how we're going to have to get through these 7 days right now, because it's clear we're in it.
And Miss Whylly, even so, it's going to force the interaction of that, because some persons are neighbors and not neighbors. Some persons are neighbors and they don't know their neighbors. They don't know who it is that lives on the side of them. They don't know who the people that lives on their street.
And therein lies the problem, you understand? And therein lies the problem, because this right here, if you didn't know before, you better get to know now.
I need you.
Because if you didn't go to the grocery store and you don't have no grocery, I ain't a thief. I ain't gonna kill nobody. I ain't gonna rob. But I can go to my neighbor and I can ask. You could tell me no, and then I can go down to the next house down the way. You understand what I'm saying? It isn't about that. It's about us taking care of each other.
Yeah.
And like I said before, we know about this, because this is how we survived. Our mothers and our grandmothers, that's how we survived back in the day. So if you don't know, that's what used to happen. When my mother,
amazing.
You go ahead.
It's so amazing, because I grew up on the stories. My grandmother, my mom's mom, she had 11 humans, right? And apart from the 11 children that she had, she still was able to take care of the community. Now, back in those days,
and then had no money
and what we have now. So how is it that they can still survive then and we can't do it now?
That's that given thing. That's that given thing. When you give, God has no other choice but to be obligated to take care.
I'm really trying to do on my best behavior, because I want to run and shout and scream. I have been warned to be professional, but Miss Whylly,
listen, that's that given thing. When you do that given thing, I tell my children be like, mommy, you giving away something else again? I'm telling you. But I tell them all the time, listen to me. This is how we get through. Let me tell you something. God is provide. I can't even begin to tell you how he does provide, but he does provide.
He does.
The other day, I was in a food store. I won't call any names. And the police arrested a young man for stealing a 5-gallon bottle of water. And they were going to lock him up. And it was on the weekend. And I asked him, because I went to my car, put my grocery in while I was standing at the counter. I said, this just, no. And I went and I paid for the water. Now, the water he stole, they multiplied it by 10 times. 10 times the bottle of water. You understand? 10 times they multiplied it. And they talk to him, talk about him. He ain't nobody. He ain't gonna do this. And he say, miss, I can bring the money. Back. And you know, they called me to tell me, come for the money. You understand? Because the police officer was like, I don't understand you, miss. I don't understand what's happening. I said, and you know, at the time, I'm not saying this to talk about what I did. I'm saying this to show who God is.
Yeah.
And he said, you ain't gonna never see this money yet. He ain't coming back. And I say, you know,
the doubt is wrong.
No, but when he was saying it, I was like, you know what? Sometimes you don't, because he was like, I don't understand. I was like, sometimes we don't understand, because it's not for us to understand.
Exactly.
But God always have a plan. And that's what we have to remember. That's what we need to understand. It's not we hoard and we have so much stuff, and then the next person have nothing. I didn't. It wasn't my intent to do this show like this, Tamika, because you know it is about you, and I know who you are, and I know your heart. But right now we're in a state of dire straits. And our neighbors are going hungry in this country.
Yeah.
And they have children. You can imagine not being able to feed. My grandson, I have a grandson, AJ. And if I could not feed my grandson, they would be locking me up.
Listen, let's not even go there, because I tell my girls, listen, when you have children, there's nothing that you will not do to ensure that their needs are met.
To take care of your children and your parents who took care of you. And my thing is right now, I pray, and I pray that people open their doors and become keepers of their neighbors, because it's nothing if you cook a meal, to just offer it, whether they take it or not. Just offer it. If you didn't speak to them, this is a good time to do a peace offering and become kind and make an effort, man. Make an effort
some way.
In some way.
It doesn't have to be a grand way. The smallest gesture goes a long way.
And you could bake bread. If you have flour, you could bake bread and take a loaf of bread. It's stuff that could be done, and that's just me. And see, I have to be careful, because I ain't nobody. I can start crying any minute now. So I gotta come out of this space, because I can tell you, I'm like, I ain't nobody when it comes to that. Because I think about when I saw the email about the person who didn't have water or food, and they have diabetes. That really triggered me, because I didn't even think about the medication part of it. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know where time is almost up, and I want you to have the opportunity to tell people how they can reach out to you and everything, because I don't want to take your time up, because it is about you. And I just want to say to people, become your brother's keeper. Reach out, check on your neighbors. If someone's sick, go and check on your neighbor, make sure they're okay, and make a difference. Make a difference. That's what we're put here for. Make a difference. Tamika, it is so amazingly good to have you with me. I need you to tell people how they can get in contact with you. So if they want to avail themselves of some of your services, let them know how they can reach you.
You can follow us on Facebook, Dove's Global Marketing and Event Concepts, Live with Tamika. The email is dovesglobal@gmail.com. The phone contact is 428-2455. And right before we go, I want to plug in tonight. Tonight is Truthful Tuesdays, and my guest tonight is Miss Denise Major, and she will be talking about, like I said, life challenges, and her main area is she's a youth specialist. She's a life coach. She has history when it comes to certain things in her
dealing
life.
with your children and dealing with your children.
Yeah.
You mentioned it to me, yeah.
Listen.
And she's lived what she's going to be talking about, is what it is.
Yes. So
And
I encourage you to tune in tonight at 8 o'clock, Live with Tamika, and on Friday at 8 o'clock. And my guest is Miss Kentisha Ward. She was my entrepreneur teacher at BTVI. Listen, this lady has information out the door. She is innovative, creative, and passionate about what she does. And I invite you to tune in on Friday at 8 o'clock, Live with Tamika as well. Please. Thank you.
And there's nothing like talking about something when you didn't live it. So I'm sure they have a lot to offer, okay? We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
This is gonna suck. Biore Charcoal Cleansers suck out 2 times more dirt, oil, and impurities. That's why Biore Charcoal sucks. Better. Biore. Free your pores.
Hi, everybody. We're back. And before we leave, I want to say thank you to my sponsor, Bahamas Wholesale Agency, and the use of their product, the Biore Rose Quartz and Charcoal Facial Cleanser. Let me tell you all something. This cleanser right here, when I say it cleans your pores, it literally cleans your pores. It See, I keep telling people the glow on my face is just amazing, and it's from that cleanser. Now, if you go back and check the other ones, of course, we were in lockdown before. You would check and see that my skin was dull because we was in lockdown, people. We was in lockdown, so I could truly say that this product works. And also, another sponsor of the show is Black Opal, and I have on their lipstick right now. I love this pink. You all know between this pink and this blue, I wear this to death because it does so much for you. It's the Black Opal line of lipsticks that they have, and it's matte lipstick. I would encourage anybody, once this lockdown is over and you get a chance, if you want to have one lipstick in your arsenal, get one of those. They really work. Okay. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to you, Tamika Campbell, for being with me. I truly appreciate you. I love you to pieces. And, I wish you every success with your business and where you're going. And, you could call on me any old day and any old night, and I'll be there for you. Thank you so much for being with me. I would like to say thank you to everyone who watched the show every Tuesday and who show their support. I have Kim Welcome, Tasha Raming, Liz Claire, Liz Clark, Donna Marie, Shauna Bastian, Shane Campbell. Everybody on the line today. I appreciate you being here and taking the time to be with me. You could have been doing anything else, but you chose to be here with me and Tamika. And I know some of you are her followers, and I appreciate you for supporting her, because that's important. Once you have that support, you're willing to do and go beyond any measure because someone's there supporting you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I look forward to you guys joining me again. Every Tuesday at 1 p.m. is the Whole Woman Show. I have some new stuff coming on stream. I will start the promotions and marketing for those very shortly. There's some amazing stuff coming on stream. I'm like, Tamika, we're going to hold those until the time to unveil them. But I'm excited about it. And I would say to persons, again, become your brother's keeper, check on your neighbors, cook a meal of food, share what you have during these 7 days, because it is a difficult time. And it's not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing. Sometimes we need to sacrifice yourself. I know I can lose a couple of pounds because Lord knows I put on some weight during COVID-19. So I can get to lose a couple of pounds. So share what you have with your neighbors, and watch God do what only Him can do. If you share, He will provide and multiply. I've seen Him do it. I'm not telling you what I hear, talking from the witness point of view here. So
Amen.
if you do that, you can look forward to it. Because then, see, He's obligated and He doesn't have a choice because He said what He said.
That's right.
And the thing is, He don't mind you testing Him, He like that. Try Him and see what He does, because He's good like that. He's not a man who can't fail. And that's what we have to remember. God is not a man. And if you trust Him by His word, watch what He will do for you. Tamika, am I speaking the truth? I'm speaking the truth, right?
Yes, you are. Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday at 1 p.m. for the Whole Woman Show. Next week, I can tell you who's going to be on the show next week. And I'm so excited about doing this, just like how I was excited about you. Vanessa Clark, she has a new single out, and she's going to be on the show this week. So I want you guys to join me and support Vanessa, because as you know, she's going through a situation, but you can never tell by looking at that woman. She is amazing. She has a story to tell, and I'm excited about telling it.
Awesome.
Telling it for her. So join me next week when my guest will be Vanessa Clark. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Tamika. I love you, my precious.
Thank you, everybody. Well.
Thank you, everybody, for being with me. See you next time. Bye. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye.